She waited for him for 7 years. But when he returned, she was gone. Story. It was raining the night Daniel left. Not the kind of rain that comes and goes quickly. The slow, quiet kind that makes the world feel heavier. Emma stood by the old train station, her fingers wrapped tightly around the strap of her bag. She watched the headlights of the train cut through the fog like a promise she didn't want to believe. Daniel stood a few steps away from her. Neither of them spoke for a long moment. Finally, he said quietly, "Emma. I have to do this." She nodded, but her eyes were shining. "Do you have to leave tonight?" Daniel looked down at the wet pavement. "If I stay, I'll never leave." Emma tried to smile. Maybe that wouldn't be the worst thing. But Daniel shook his head. "I need to see the world. I need to know who I am, before I can give my life to someone else." The train whistle echoed through the empty station. Emma felt something in her chest tighten. "So what am I supposed to do while you're figuring that out?" Daniel stepped closer to her. "Wait for me." 3 simple words. Emma searched his face, hoping he would laugh and say he was joking. He didn't. "How long?" she whispered. Daniel hesitated. "I don't know." The train doors opened. People began to board. Emma looked at the train, then back at Daniel. "You're asking me to wait for something you're not even sure about." Daniel gently took her hands. "I love you. That part I'm sure about." Emma swallowed hard. "Then why does this feel like goodbye?" He didn't answer. And sometimes silence says everything. The conductor called out the final boarding. Daniel kissed Emma softly on the forehead. 7 years, he said suddenly. Emma blinked. "What? If after 7 years you're still here? I'll come back. And we'll start our life together." 7 years. It sounded both short and impossibly long. But Emma loved him. And love makes promises logic never would. So she nodded. "Okay." Daniel got on the train. And just like that, he was gone. At first, the waiting didn't feel so hard. Emma kept busy. She worked at the small bookstore in town. She drank coffee at the same little cafe every morning. She walked past the train station sometimes, remembering the night he left. And once a month, a letter arrived. From somewhere new. Paris. Rome. Barcelona. Daniel wrote about the cities he saw, the people he met, the sunsets over oceans Emma had never seen. But every letter ended the same way. "I'm still coming back." Emma folded every letter carefully. And kept them in a small wooden box under her bed. Years passed. People in town began asking questions. "Emma, don't you think it's time to move on? He might never come back." But Emma always smiled politely. He promised. And promises meant something to her. By the 5th year, the letters became less frequent. Not because Daniel stopped writing. But because life was changing. Emma's father became sick. The bookstore closed. The cafe where she drank coffee every morning shut its doors. Everything around her slowly began disappearing. Except the promise. The promise remained. Sometimes at night she would take the letters out and read them again. The ink had faded on some of them. But the words were still there. "I'm still coming back." On the exact day of the 7th year, Daniel stepped off the train. The town looked smaller than he remembered. Quieter. Older. He walked past the cafe. Closed. He passed the bookstore. Empty. A strange feeling crept into his chest. 7 years suddenly felt like a lifetime. Finally he reached Emma's house. The lights were off. Daniel knocked. No answer. He knocked again. Still nothing. A neighbor across the street slowly walked over. "You're Daniel, aren't you?" Daniel nodded. "Yes. I just got back." The old man sighed. "You're late." Daniel frowned. "Late?" The man looked down for a moment. "Emma waited for you. Every day." Daniel felt his chest tighten. "Where is she?" The man pointed toward the hill at the edge of town. Daniel didn't understand. Until he started walking. And walking. And then he saw it. A small cemetery. At the very end. A simple white stone. Emma Carter. 1996 to 2024. Daniel's legs nearly gave out. He walked closer slowly. On the grave was a small wooden box. His hands trembled as he opened it. Inside were dozens of letters. Every single one he had sent. Carefully folded. Carefully kept. And on the top of them, a letter he had never seen before. Written in Emma's handwriting. Daniel opened it. His vision blurred as he read. "Daniel. If you're reading this, it means you finally came back. I waited as long as I could. I never stopped believing in you. But sometimes life doesn't wait the way love does. If I'm not here when you return, please don't feel guilty. Just promise me one thing. Don't spend your life chasing the horizon. Sometimes the love you're looking for is the one you left behind. I loved you. Always. Emma." Daniel sank to his knees in the grass. The wind moved softly through the trees. 7 years. He had seen the world. But the one place that mattered most. He had come back too late. If this story felt familiar. Maybe you've waited for someone who never came back. Or maybe you were the one who left. Either way, some loves stay with us forever. Even when the people don't. I'll see you next time. After Dark.